This is my literacy journey by Kendra Lindsay. And to start my slideshow, I have included a picture of me when I was just going into kindergarten. This was my first day. So, this is where my relationship with literacy didn't begin, but where it really kicked off, I would say. So, when I think about my relationship with literacy, I have very positive memories. Since I can recall, I have always loved reading. I remember asking my mom to read me Stephanie's Ponytail by Robert Munsch over and over and over again until eventually it mysteriously went missing from my bookshelf. I remember the first time I read a book by myself after hours of playing with my Leapfrog reader, one of my favorite toys. But one of my favorite memories, though, is of the Webkins plays that my two friends, Tessa, Erica, and I would create on the weekends. This is a photo of all of the Webkins that we would use to create our plays. These are the stairs going down into Erica's basement where we would always be doing all of our work. And this is Tessa in the photo with all of our Webkins. We would spend all weekend coming up with ideas, building our sets out of cardboard and craft paper, taking breaks to watch movies and eat snacks, and writing and arguing about our scripts, the soundtrack, and the casting of the right Webkins to match our ideas. On Sunday mornings, when our parents would pick us up from Erica's house, they would come down to the basement and watch our production. We were always so excited to perform. At the time, we did not realize that we were developing our literacy skills as we were just kids doing what we enjoyed. But looking back, we were developing our skills in narrative structure, critical thinking, creative writing, all while having the time of our lives. Because of my love of reading, I always strived to be the best. I was in elementary school during the early 2000s, so leveled reading groups were something I knew well. I always landed in the second best reading group, which I did not ever feel great about. I always wanted to read what the top class readers got to read, never being fully satisfied with the books that I was given. The starting of grade 4, after a whole summer of reading, I was finally placed in the top reading group. I remember my teacher, Mrs. Hill, reading out the list of names that would be in each reading group after doing our testing. Mrs. Hill showed us the books that each group would be reading. It was obvious to all the students which groups were the strong readers and which were not, based on the chosen books. This year, the top group would be reading The Tunnels of Time by Mary Helkin Bishop. When Mrs. Hill read my name out loud to be in the Tunnels of Time group, I remember yelling, "Yes!" and then promptly being scolded for interrupting class. Being scolded did not tame my excitement, though, to read along with the best readers group. I feel that these positive memories have given me an overall positive view of literacy, which is beneficial to have as a learner, but also has its negatives. Being told that I was a strong reader my whole life did not push me to continue improving. After high school, I found myself not reading much for fun and losing some of my skills. Sometimes I feel that my reading and writing need working on, along with my comprehension skills. Being back in university has greatly helped me, but I still feel that I need to do some practicing on my own time and fall back in love with reading. It is important that students learn literacy in the ways that works best for them. Reading and writing should be enjoyable for all students, so creating activities that engage them, providing them with materials that they can relate to, and encouraging sharing and connection between classmates is what I believe the best way to learn is. I also believe that a healthy mix of balanced reading, along with the science of reading, perhaps in the early years, like grades 1 and 2, would be most beneficial would be the most beneficial ways to support students' literacy journeys. To me, literacy is the foundation of human connection. It is how we communicate, share, and express ourselves with the people around us. Literacy allows us to think critically, allows us to understand the world and think critically about it, and enjoy all that it has to offer. Thank you for listening.